Hello everyone, my name is Shama. I'm with Girls and Geese. I am the program director here, and we're super excited. We're back for yet another edition of our Next Generation series where we feature young, up-and-coming athletes. Today we have a very special guest. Her name is Mona Bailey. She's been a competitor. You might see her at helping out with tournaments. She's also a huge advocate for those with alopecia. There we go.
Yeah, we
hey.
did it. How are you?
Good. I got you sideways. Is there a way to get you to...
Yes. You can go this way.
There we are.
There we go. We might tilt because of the headphone.
Nice.
Did it.
So how have you been?
Good. How are you?
Good. It's the same old.
Living life.
I hear you've been pretty busy.
Yes. We're home this weekend. Or I was actually in Arizona yesterday. And then we're back home. We have a tournament this weekend, Battlegrounds, one of the tournaments here. Big team tournament. We have a lot of competitors going. So excited.
Excellent. Now, I was just telling everybody at home, I feel very fortunate to have been a part of your journey for some time now. I remember you coming up as a little girl, now blossoming into a young woman. And you've done phenomenal things, not just in your own jiu-jitsu career, but for other people as well. One of the big things that I know you're an advocate for is those with alopecia. And that's something that you've had on again. Not battle, I would say, but it's a condition that you've had off and on again. And so I know that a lot of people out there, when they are struggling with it in jiu-jitsu, you're my number one person, like, oh, go check out Mona and Bailey and her family, and they're great advocates for it. So tell us a little bit about yourself. If you were to sum yourself up, what would you say?
I'm Mona Bailey. I am 17 years old. I am from Houston, Texas. Train out of Cross and Gracie, Houston. I've been training I make 8 years in August, actually. I come from a big family of 10 siblings. I've had alopecia since I was 9 years old. My hair started to come back. Like my sister G does my hair, and she can hide some of the spots, but they're still there. So it comes in here and there. But yeah, that's my life.
I know it's so bizarre seeing you with hair. I remember for so long you had no hair, and
I know.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't recognize you. I mean, you're gorgeous either way.
Thank you.
And
no,
you
it's fun to play with. Thank you. Now she does these little 5-year-old hair girl styles, and I love them. So I had a scrunchie in my hair today when I was training, so I get to play with everything right now.
Excellent. So I know it's something that you've rocked. You definitely gave a lot of people confidence out there. How did you get to that point? Was it just something that you're just like, this is who I am, and this is what I'm going to do, or was there a struggle trying to adjust to that?
Not at all. I remember my mother started doing my hair, and she found a dime-sized bald spot in the back, and there a few more started to pop up, and so they took me to the dermatologist, and my siblings didn't know. I got them to school, and they were confused as to why. So they took us, and we went to a good amount of doctors until the last one finally told me it was alopecia. So they brought somebody into the gym to kind of explain that, she's going to look different, she's going to lose her hair, but it's nothing serious. She's still the same person. So they did that for the gym. I remember my parents circled up the whole family. And after they told my family, we did a big group hug. And then at one point, I had, more bald spots than hair. So they ended up having to shave my hair for a wig, for my head to get fitted for a wig. And I was smiling in that picture. My brother did it with me, and my dad did it with me. So I honestly have never felt why me? Why do I have this? I was always okay with it. And then when my hair started coming in, I'm like, okay, this is fun too. It came in a while before we started letting grow out, but it was still spotty. There was more hair than bald spots, and I had my eyebrows and eyelashes back. But when I would let my hair grow, my parents would say I looked like a chia pet, and that I wouldn't compete. So we would always shave it before tournaments. But then quarantine came, and I wasn't going anywhere, so we finally let it grow out.
Oh, that's amazing. That not a lot of people, I would say, in general, have the confidence that you do. So it's really awesome to see somebody your age that has that. So how did you get started in jiu-jitsu? You know, what kind of led you down this path?
So, like I said, there's 10 siblings. My oldest brother mentioned it to my parents, but he actually never got into it. The three oldest were already like adulting, working by the time we started. So my brothers John and Jalen started first, and then Mark started, Dominic started, I started, and then two girls, Gianna and Janella, started right after. So we've all been doing it. A few of us did kickboxing right before jiu-jitsu, but we all started doing jiu-jitsu, and we were there all the time. So then my parents started doing it because they're like, we're here, why not? So at one point, there was all 7 kids competing together and training. For a while, my older siblings, grew up, started adulting. The girls took a break, so it was Dominic and I by ourselves for a while. But now my sisters train a lot with us, so it's mostly us 4 right now. And my sisters actually took a break from competing, and they are both competing tomorrow with Dominic. So
oh, awesome! So it's a family affair.
Yes, we spend so much time at the gym. That's all we do.
I bet. And traveling too, because now you started to kind of step up, and not only are you competing now, you're actually helping run tournaments as well. So you're learning like the in and outs of actually the business side of that.
Actually, my dad and Dominic are at a tournament right now setting up for it. But it's good to see both sides of things. We work Nagas, so, we get to travel, and if there's ever a purple belt they need, I get to jump in and compete. So it's fun to see both sides of things.
Absolutely. So what are your goals moving forward now that you kind of see that, I know your parents help run an academy, and now you also are helping with tournaments. Is that something that you see in your future? Is this your path, or is there any other passions that you're pursuing?
Mostly jiu-jitsu. I just started Muay Thai again because I think it would be fun to at least do one MMA fight, get it done. But mostly jiu-jitsu. I want to open my family gym. I want to compete and train. I just got my purple belt not too long ago. So heavier, bigger competition that I've been going with, and it's super fun. Working the tournaments is always a fun part of things. I think we would keep doing that. Dominic and I have recently started to ref a little bit since we got purples, but I think this is where I want to go with for my life.
Do you like reffing? Is that something? I know for me, it's always been like, oh my gosh, I don't want to make those calls.
I feel like it's so awkward just standing there judging people, especially white belts, to be going. And I'm like, I don't think that's what we're supposed to do. But it is pretty fun. And, I usually get the really big dudes. So I'm like, okay, I'm little, you're big. Don't kill Mona. And, but no, it's super fun. I get to make friends with everybody. And the Naga referees really take care of us, too, making sure they correct us if we need to. And if somebody talks, stupid to us, they'll get on them real quick.
No, that's good. You got some backup.
I do, yeah. It is fun.
At what point was it that you said, you know what, this is something I could do for the rest of my life? Was there this moment, kind of that aha moment of, oh, this is this is that missing piece? Or was it kind of just a gradual, hey, this is what my family does, and I'm just going to do it?
No, I mean, coming up as a kid, it was mostly we're all here, let's do it. But I think once I started teaching, I realized that, this is what I want to do, and competing, I want to compete all the time. And I love teaching. I think I'm a very good teacher. I teach my babies at the gym. And I've gone around and started teaching seminars. I actually have a seminar on Sunday, an all-female seminar here in Houston, or in Huntsville. But honestly, I think teaching is what I want to do. I've gotten better at it. I'm a very low talker, so I've learned how to use my big girl voice and everything. But yeah, that's what I want to do.
Yeah, I find that when I was teaching more, that it actually helped me be a better practitioner, because 100%. I have to break it down. How can I explain this? It's just not just me going off of instinct and muscle memory. I actually have to use my words, right? And my actions. Yeah. So it's a skill. It's good that you're learning that at your age. You're doing a lot more than most kids your age. That as far as so you're getting a lot of adult responsibilities very early on. It's going to help prepare you.
I joke about it because my professor Jared, I'll call him right before little kids class about what to teach or something, and I'm like, look at Mona adulting all by herself. He jokes with me. But it's fun.
No, I think you're going to get a step ahead, because these are not experiences that a lot of kids your
Hmm.
age have. A lot of them are out, unfortunately, some go down a path that may not take them to places that we want them to go, and so
Hmm.
you have such a nice structure and support system, it looks like, that it's
Yeah,
going to really kind of nurture whatever you want to do in life.
100%.
So, what what's some advice that you can offer for somebody who's, maybe somebody's your age and saying, I watch jujitsu on UFC, or, I see it on, YouTube, but I'm a little intimidated. I don't know if it's for me. What advice would you have for them?
I would say not to shut it down before you've tried it. Jiu-jitsu is a very tough sport to get behind. Not a lot of people, it's not for everybody. The other day, this guy came into the gym and he was halfway through class and just like stopped. And everybody's like, that's fine. It's not for you. It's not for normal people. I would just say keep going. You're going to have the tough, starting days. You don't know what to do. You're not the highest in the gym, always getting beat up. But then sooner or later, you'll find your way and learn and how you want to do things. And it's worth it, 100%.
What helps you kind of get through those rough days? I'm sure, we all have them. But what kind of
Sleep.
pushes you through? Sleep?
No. Honestly, if I'm having a bad day, I just go to the gym. Like those are my people, my babies. They're so funny. They don't know what they're talking about. I have one kid that talks all day long and has no idea what he's talking about. Oh, there's my dog. But honestly, the gym, those are my favorite people are at the gym. So we go, we have a good time, we joke around, we do whatever we want, but at the end of the day, it's serious and we start training when we need to.
Excellent.
There you go.
Do you have any rest days? That's my question. Is there any sleep for Mona?
So I need 8 hours a night plus a nap. Okay. Hold on, put it down. There you go, puppy. So I sleep a lot. I'll sleep either in the car to the gym or at home in between trainings. But no, mostly it's not rest days, it's less training days. Like Mondays and Wednesdays, we work out in the morning, so we don't train. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we train morning and night. It depends if we're traveling or not. I'll kind of get a break. We're driving Fridays, we're working Saturdays, and we drive back Sundays. We'll hit an open mat if we can, but those are when we rest. But if I'm home, we're training. And then Saturdays and Sundays, we train in the morning, so we get the nights off. But I'm training every single day.
That's a lot of
Basically,
training.
what all that bit. Yeah. But like I said, we leave my house at 4 and we'll get to the gym around 4:30 and we're there until 9 o'clock.
That's an
So
all day
we're
affair. So you
there
live
all
at the
day.
gym.
Basically, yes.
I know sometimes with like people who are couples or siblings, they have a hard time training with each other. Is that something that you've ever experienced with any of your siblings?
So Dominic and I do everything together. I train Dominic's my partner every single class. We have the same spot on the mat. We used to roll a lot together, but then we would get very like petty with each other. Like one of us would go a little too hard, the other would get mad, and then we would like go for blood. So we'll still train here and there together, not every day. But now it's more like flow. He'll still try and beat me up and like break my foot 5 times, but it's more fun. My sisters and I usually have normal rounds, but Dominic and I, since we do everything together, it gets to be a mess. Yes.
So a little
But
bit more of a competitive edge
we've
there.
grown up though. We've gotten better. We don't
That's
do
good.
that anymore. It's more like him trying to take me down with all these fancy ones, and then I'll do little spinny stuff, and then he'll like sit back for an ankle lock, and then yeah, that's how our rounds go.
So I always like to ask people this. If you could describe your game in one word, what would it be and why?
Ooh, I'm on the spot now. Um, I talk a lot. One word does not do justice for me
Okay,
at
well, you'll
all.
get a sentence. Take
All
a whole
right.
sentence.
Okay. I think it is a mix of my professors, a mix of the people I work with the most. I'm very good at picking up the one thing they're working at, and like a month later it becomes my thing. But it is my thing now. I've stolen it from them. So there you go.
I own
It's mine
it.
now. We're at the last super fights, and my professor Jared is very big on like 411 and saddle position, and he hit this new entry from worm guard. So I went back to the gym and I found it and I hit it in Arizona this weekend. And I told him, I'm like, it's my move now. I stole it. That's it. It's not yours anymore. It's mine. So that's basically how it goes.
Hey, that's the name of the game. So
Fun.
you've been doing it for a while now. I know sometimes, jujitsu is so different for everybody, right? It has different purpose, it has different meaning. Have you seen, like, is there something that, like, oh, I know you say you acquire these moves from people, but is there something that is like yours, like that you're known for, that you just kind of honed in, that is something that you master? What is that?
It's my triangles, 100%. My triangles in the malevera, the arm, the shoulder lock off of it, that is my move, 100%.
That's what we got to watch out for with you.
Yeah, that is my thing. And since we got purple, Dominic and I started working with Professor Jose, like right after we worked, the new fancy footlocks and everything. And I hit it all in one super fight.
Nice.
And I went and I took a break from triangles because they started hurting my knees and everything. So during training I wouldn't go for them. But now when I compete, that's literally all I hit now. That's it.
If it's good, it's good.
It's there. So that's what I'm working with.
Do you get nervous before going into tournaments, or is it kind of at that point now you've done it so many times where you're like, oh, here we are, I'm just gonna go?
Yeah, no, I don't get nervous anymore. Like you said, I've done it so many times. It's just like the new normal. I get more nervous for everybody else than me. Like, we had the super fights, and my sister Gianna did her second one. And I'm standing there, and I'm like, oh, no, that pit feeling in my stomach that I'm nervous for them. And the Dominic went, and it happened again. But this doesn't happen with me. I think it's more like watching them compete. It's what takes more out of me than me actually competing.
Yeah, no, I know that one for sure. So, I mean, it sounds like you have a phenomenal support system, and I think through my journey, I've realized that that's something it could make or break you. Having that support system is so crucial. What are some things that you think that you have maybe learned from your coaches that you try to pass on now to your students? Like, what are some crucial things that you think are important to being a good coach, being a good instructor?
So one thing that we do at our gym is after our late night classes, our competition classes, Jared basically circles everybody up, any questions or anything. And then he goes down to mostly to believe in yourself, believe that you're going to get this takedown, that you're going to get this guard pass, because it starts there. It starts in your head. And he and I have the same conversation the weeks up to my fight. It's the week of, you're going to kill this girl. You're a smoker. And then it's that day right before my fight, I say the same thing back to him. And I told him, I actually said this to people. I'm like, it's not cockiness, it's confidence. It's more that you're confident in your jiu-jitsu, that you're going to go out there and do the best that you can. And that's good to, put into adults, but the kids too, to like believe in themselves and, win or lose, you're going back to the gym tomorrow and everything will be okay.
Oh, no, that's for sure. I think sometimes we put a little bit too much stock into winning all the time, right? We don't see the value of our losses. Yeah. What has been one, if I know that you probably have a lot, but what has been maybe one of your top 3 experiences that has really shaped you in your jiu-jitsu journey so far?
Ooh. Oh.
I know I got some stumpers for you.
Yes. Let's see. Oh, wait. I need you to re-speak your question.
So I'll make it simpler. Yeah. What has been one of the, out of the top 3 experiences that you have had in jiu-jitsu, what has been one of the, you can pick from one of the 3 that has really kind of shaped who you are as a jiu-jitsu player, as a person, has really kind of stood out to you in your journey? One of the most memorable experiences you had there. Make it a little simpler.
I told you I talk a lot. Honestly, they're all like, a lot of my major things are like another big step for female jiu-jitsu. Like for Submission Hunter Pro, I hold 3 of Eric's titles, and there's a lot more. I know there's a brown belt title and a black belt title. He's giving the stage for women jiu-jitsu, and there was an all females card for Submission Hunter Pro, and I think it was the first. And that was the big step. That was another big step for female jiu-jitsu. I think more, teaching seminars also, and like the people you meet, it's more like, these people came to see me teach. It's a big deal. We were actually at dinner after a seminar. We have a new professor, Celso Ricardo, and he's like, Carlson Gracie has never had a female world champion, and you will be the first. And I have not forgotten those words. It wasn't even that long ago. It was like January or something. But I have not forgotten those words. And I tell everybody that. I'm like, this is the next goal. This is the next step. After everything else, as at black belt, this is the first goal. So I don't know if that answered your question at all.
No, that's perfect. That's perfect. No, you know what? And if I think anybody's up for the challenge, it's going to be you, right? And I think you're definitely on your track to making that happen for sure.
I'm super excited. Super excited for that.
So then this is kind of rounds out to my last question is, if you were to leave a mark in jiu-jitsu, what do you want that to be? What do you want to be remembered for? What do you want your legacy to be?
I want it to be, I need to find words, more to just keep going, like I said, female jiu-jitsu is up and coming, it's changed in the past few years, 100%, we've had more opportunities, and I think you want to keep going for the ladies. I want to keep growing, build my women's team. Professor Alicia Sandoval, she's Carlson Gracie's black belt. And I just spent, they had that Carlson Gracie camp in Melbourne, and I was with her. And she's a female Carlson Gracie black belt. And she's building, bringing up the ladies for good. And, she mentioned a women's camp that she's going to throw in California. And I would love to be a part of that, to build up the Carlson Gracie team and the women's jiu-jitsu team in general.
I think yet another thing you're up to the challenge.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, is there anything else that you'd like to add that we didn't cover today that maybe you'd like to let the world that's paying attention to right now and in the future watching this later, what would you like to say to them?
Just be honestly, I talk a lot when I don't need to, and now when I do, it's not there.
It's okay.
Just to be on the lookout for, everybody up in the up and coming. These women are coming, and the ladies are coming, and we're making a name for ourselves in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm excited to have you in the future of that. I feel like,
Thank you.
I'm not quite there, but I've thought a lot about this in that, there's going to come a time for me, right, where it's time to kind of pass the torch. And it's really cool to see that there's so many young ladies in your generation that are already like stepping up to the challenge and already saying, you know what, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to continue to do. And just like I did from the people who inspired and led me. So I'm really excited. And that's part of why we do this series, is to feature outstanding young girls like yourself that are going to carry us to the future. And it's really amazing to see where we're going to go. I think the sky's the limit. We got a lot of momentum coming behind us to keep pushing us forward. So, it was such a pleasure having you on. I'm so glad we got to catch up.
Yes, ma'am, it was fun.
I look forward to seeing you in the future. And thank you for sharing your journey with us and your insight.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And keep inspiring,
Thank you.
You inspire a lot of adults and young girls as well. So you're an excellent role model for us. So
thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in today. It was a pleasure having you a part of this session, and tune in for more here at Girls and Geese. We're on YouTube, Spotify, and iTunes. Thank you. Bye.